more than the ethical ways of perceiving artistry according to the history of art itself, in my opinion, should be just, and I say just because it's important to understand that regardless of how high of an apex you reach in your artistry, it will just be a just in your life. Of course, again, this is my opinion, and that feelings and raw emotion for the present time in the very spontaneity and the present issue that's at stake when you do your art piece is vital. Because we can get, as I've been through the Superior School of Arts in Ecuador, and I exhibited greatly more than 20 years ago, and I started exhibiting after 20 years. And I've noticed that everyone wants to be, I would say, a pretty boy or a pretty petite artist. No different than religion, when a lot of people that partake of the church eldership want to go to theological services to become that pastor or that prophet or that evangelist. And nobody pays attention to the one that God has a rich, raw anointing from the outer skirts of even prison. When they come out without a certificate, and they have so much more to give, dealing with the wisdom of God. So too in artistry, there's a lot of people that I've seen in galleries and exhibits, at least here in Florida, Central Florida. And they get so particular in being pretty in their expression of art. And of course, the culture of Florida is very conservative and very commercialized, very desiring to become a partaker of the pretty coloring schemes and systematic artistry of the day. And I have nothing against that, but I do want you to understand that there's always an artist in the outskirts of what is artistically perceived as the well-fitted piece. There's always an outskirt artist like Van Gogh or a Basquiat that now is considered artistically fit, when he wasn't really at the time that he was a young age. For y'all that know very well about Jean-Michel Basquiat, he was not even particularly liked in some area, in some arenas of the artistic life, even though he was liked by a lot of number of gallery owners, and everything was art in the 80s art boom in New York City. And some critics had found out that he wasn't just painting just to paint primitive style of children style of painting, juxtaposing cryptic sayings from here to there and flagrant colors, almost as if uncontrolled. But they found out later on that he really knew his business. He was just portraying in a very distinct way an expressionism, a neo-expressionistic style in the 80s. And so too now, I believe that God is going to release, God is going to release actually, but there's going to be an abrupt inspiration of the raw and the crude artists that will use the most unorthodox material and the most unorthodox expression, yet having an understanding of what the ethics are in artistry, but reaching beyond the bounds of what people are used to and perceiving what is to be true artistry in the art world here in Central Florida. And I just ask that you would just take that to mind, because I'm one of the outskirts artists, even though I partook more than 20 years ago with a great group called Zuacata in Guayaquil, Ecuador. But I understood that the rawness and the crudeness that I breathe my painting in was very vital for those times, and I was an invited guest for that group in which my professor partook of and released me around Ecuador. And as I'm taking my first steps, I'm very assured in myself, not priding, but understanding that to be an artist, if you want to become an artist, money is not the issue. It's all this in a nutshell. I want to say it like this. Just express your raw passion and your crudeness of expressing. And everything else will come to play. So with that little introduction, this is one of my many purposes of doing my artistry. As you begin to see under my profile, a sense of many senses of why I do my artwork. So you guys have a great day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little commentary dealing with my purposes in art. Bye-bye.